Even doctors and lawyers are picking up side hustles now. The gig economy isn't just a fallback anymore. It's the new battleground for financial survival. Gig work is booming for everyone. You might think side hustles are for students or those between jobs. But even today, even America's elite lawyers, media professionals, consultants are diving into gig work. Why? Because wages aren't keeping up with inflation. Because the old 9-to-5 mold no longer guarantees financial safety. Because economic uncertainty doesn't discriminate. The Times recently reported the number of Americans with a side hustle has surged to 61.1 million, 3.6 million more than a year ago. And Amanda Goodall, chief executive of the Edge Pulse, told the Times she was seeing people earning below $100,000 taking on extra work, while those earning below $70,000 were definitely seeking side hustles, such as driving for Uber or delivering meals for DoorDash to cope with the cost of living. This should make even high earners stop and think, if people below six figures are doing this out of necessity, why wouldn't you do it by choice? Use gig work to stay ahead of inflation before it forces your hand. What used to be optional may soon become essential. Rather than being forced into it later by rising costs, you can choose to start now on your own terms and use that extra income to build wealth and stay ahead. This is a seismic shift, and it's happening faster than most people realize. My thoughts on the big gig boom. It's easy to scoff at gig work until you realize it's quietly becoming a launch pad. You learn to hustle, you gain time flexibility, and if you're smart, you don't just spend the extra income, you put it to work. I used to think of gig work as a fallback. Now, I see it as a modern form of bootstrapping. What should you be doing with that gig money? Here's where the shift happens. Earning more money is just step one. Preserving and growing it, that's where most people fail. With inflation cutting into every dollar you earn, you need hedges. You need strategy. You need a way to protect your gains from evaporation. Silver and Bitcoin as inflation hedges. Silver just hit a 13-year high. That's not a coincidence. Investors are moving money out of fiat looking for hard assets with real value. Reuters reported silver spot rose 0.2% to 36.23 an ounce, and I saw it at 37. It had previously reached its high 13 years ago. Gold, the same trend, but even more dramatic. The Times of India said gold prices have risen 30% since January, doubled in 2 years, reflecting increased investor demand amid global uncertainty. Gold has now surpassed the euro to become the second largest reserve asset globally. Gold is the only global safe haven asset now, according to the Times. Same with Bitcoin, but it just has digital scarcity. These aren't meme stocks or get-rich-quick schemes. They're hedges, protection against erosion of value. And when timed well, they can grow wealth too. A practical path forward. If I were starting today, I'd work gigs that don't burn me out. I'd set aside a percentage, 10%, maybe more. Then I'd split it a little into silver, real hold in your hand kind, a little into Bitcoin, DCA, and let time do the heavy lifting. This isn't about hype, it's about resilience. A side hustle can be more than survival. It can be your engine. Just don't let your hard-earned income melt away by inflation. Building something that lasts. Drop a comment. Are you working a side hustle? What are you doing with that extra income? Like, subscribe, and share this with someone trying to figure out their next move. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.